you better stop scrolling because it's go time. Have you been wanting to play with one of these cross wreaths? Well, I'm going to show you how to make a cute design on them that you can use all year long. And this one's not only for the door, but you can use it in your home, and it makes a perfect gift for a newlywed couple or a housewarming, and I'm going to show you how. The only thing you're going to need on your own is some hot glue, a little bit of floral foam in order to attach it to your design to here, and then some cable ties, just basic wreath making supplies. All the florals are coming in this kit together. What I'm going to do is think about how I want my florals to be, and a lot of times we design the crosses right here at the center, and that is totally fine. But I thought it would be really beautiful to let the cross just stand above and make our design kind of lower this time. So that's what we're going to do with this as we start to build it up. So the first thing I want you to do before we even try to prep our florals is grab your floral foam. You can get this at any craft store, and we're going to cut a little small block, which this came in a big sheet, and I worked my way down from it because it's the most cost effective because you get a whole bunch. But I just worked my way down and cut these into little pieces. So I'm just going to take my little knife and just cut a little piece off. Once you kind of score it, usually you can just pop it and break it into little sections. Okay, I don't need a huge piece, just something like this that can go down here at the bottom. I want it to be fairly centered. I'm going to make it just a little bit shorter because we don't need it too big. So just score and pop it. And I always save all these pieces for other projects. Now I want you to take, and I have off camera a little, this is my electric glue skillet. You can see I'm pulling it out. And I'm just going to dip it in here and just get a little glue on there, and you can kind of scrape it off the edge, get a nice little coating like this, and then we can put our glue skillet off to the side again. And I'm just going to tuck that, kind of wiggle it in right there to that foam base. Be careful. It's a moss base. I want you to come in from the back, and we're going to add a couple of floral pins back here. These are U pins, and there's a wire frame here, so if you can kind of catch some of these wires, it's going to help it stay more stable in there. Okay, so it's not just relying on the glue. This is a trick we use all the time in design school for different projects, so you guys can use it for this too. I'm going to wiggle in from the bottom. All right, so I've grabbed the little wires to secure the foam, and she's in tight and good, and she's right kind of running down the middle. So I know I'm going to tie a bow that's just really loud and proud right in the center here and a little bit. So let's start in kind of what we call greening out our base. That's putting our base layer of greenery. And this is our exclusive fishtail fern to Calise.com. So I like to take it and make it short. Now you're going to get this in the kit, so you don't have to order it separately. I'm going to push that up so it's short. Now hold that up, and you can kind of see how high that's going to go, and you can decide, okay, I want a little bit shorter. Just the key is not to go so far that you push it off the whole wire, but that's okay. I've done that before. I do that about every week. It happens, don't worry. So I'm going to trim those down like that. Yes, we're definitely not perfect. Of course, if you're a Christian and you're putting this up, you definitely know, hey, we're not perfect. We're doing our best, and we know we're forgiven. And that's all that matters. We can start each day fresh and new. Okay, I put that one off to the left. Now I'm going to bring this one in. I'm going to go off to the right and kind of just get a little left, a little right. I get my base started here. Okay, so I've got two going either way. Now let's work a little bit coming down from there. So we're just going to work opposite where we just put in the placement. So I've got that one that we had already prepped right here, and I'll just tuck that in. Okay, and let's go on the right side. So let me get one more. I'm going to push some more up. Just about that same size, so just slide those puppies up to the top. I love that we have the option to use these long or short. It's another benefit. And then I'm going to trim these right off here. Keep these stems pretty short. Okay, so now I've got them all off the main base. And I'm going to put one more on this side that's a little bit longer one. If I have a longer one, this one's a little longer. I'll have this one kind of come off to the right. Okay, so what a great start we've got. Can you believe how quickly this comes together? It's so nice that it comes together this fast. So we've worked these opposite each other when we place them on the base. Now we're going to put the bow in. Now we've already made the bow. Check the supply list for the projects. They'll always have the bows. Once the bow videos have been posted, you can learn how to do it too. Here's our bow. When we made this bow, we put a cable tie in the back like we normally would. But in this case, I needed foam on it because I want to be able to push it right into the foam, okay? So I'm going to take and just add a little floral pin back here and just tie that around it. Just use that cable tie you've got back up there and just get it really tight. So it's going on. I'm gonna get it as tight as it'll go, and now I've got my little pin and just trim that off. Okay, I've got a floral pin attached to the back of my bow. Super easy. And now I'm going to put a little glue on that. So I've got some glue here that I'm bringing over from my electric skillet of glue, and then I'm going to press that right into the foam right in the middle. Putting the bow in now is because we want to be able to work the florals into the bow. So we do wreaths and centerpieces either way. Sometimes we want that bow on the top layer. In this case, we want the bow worked in. Isn't it pretty already what we're creating? So the bow is at the bottom and the cross is going to stand out above. Just so beautiful. Now, save this greenery for a moment. We're going to come in with all of our beautiful white berries that also come in the kit. And you guys, if you want to grab this kit for yourself, just let me know in the comments. We'll get you a link so you can go shopping for it on Khalees.com. If you'll just take and tear these down, they tear down really nicely. I'm going to do that here right now. And then all I need to do is take and clean up their ends. And we do this with a lot of different florals in design school. It just makes it so easy to work with. So you cut each one just like this, separate them out into little smaller sections, and then just neatly trim the ends. Oh my gosh, it's so cute already. Y'all, these are coming out so clean and neat. I love that. And once we add these in, they're going to pop that creamy white against that yummy green. It's going to be good. It's going to be good stuff. All right, so they're all trimmed up. If you want, you can even come in and separate them and trim them shorter. Like I can take one of these and trim it into two. Okay, so now I have two smaller pieces. So we can have a little bit of both. So I'm going to do 3 of them cut into 2s. Like this. All right, so we get some smaller bits. And I leave them clustered so I don't have to add an extra step of repicking them or anything like that. Okay, now let's take the fuller pieces that are a little bit longer. See, when I put these side by side, one's a little bit longer than the other. Now take those long ones. We're going to come right out of the bow right now. And I'm going to come out to the right, okay? Just like we did that other one. We're going to match the greenery put in here. All right, so a little bit out to the left, actually. This way. Kind of centered, but just slightly out to the left. Now take another big piece. We're going to do the same thing up here, and it goes slightly out to the right. Go ahead and shake hands with these. So spread them out, give them some space. Give that a twirl in the glue pot, and they come out into the right. Yeah. Okay, oh, beautiful. So these are going up and down. That's a good start. Now let's take a couple of our longer pieces that we have left, and I want you to work kind of right beside where you went with the first one, just a little bit more to the right or left. So I'm going to come a little bit more to the right on this one. There you go. And then the same thing will work opposite over here. A little bit more to this one's to the right, that was to the left. All right. So we kind of have this dynamic movement and this line created. So when you learned floral design in Khalees Design School, that's what we learn. We learn about lines and geometric patterns that help you achieve great spacing. And when you do that, the eye gets the most pleasure from it. It's almost mathematical generally, but I break it down where it's really simple and easy to follow. And you can see here, you see the lines working both ways on our cross. Oh, that's so pretty. I love this because this cross is going to stand out on your door for sure. All right, now we need to work in and around the bow. So we're going to come on either side. So let's get started with one of the smaller pieces up here to the right side. And now I'm going to come in and we're going to work it between the bow. Remember I told you we were going to do that? So open up a couple of pieces of the bow and just punch that into the foam right here between them. All right, that one's done. Now let's come down below. Do the same thing, going down. So even we're doing a small project today, there's still such things as transition points and movements and lines that we are working on to create a certain look. And it's really important. It adds value to all your designs when you're creating. And it just is much more pleasing to the eye. And the cool thing is if you ever want to sell your work, when you're able to establish that kind of look and depth and dimension, that means more dollars in your pocket when you're able to create that way. So I love that aspect of it. And these, where you get to, people get to show their faith on their own door, I know that they just love that. It makes a great, great gift. Okay, now I've got my bow spread out. I've got 2 more white pieces. I'm going to hold on to them for just a second. And we're going to just kind of go a little bit more behind. So we've kind of created this beautiful movement, almost like a sunburst coming out from the middle of the bow. But what I want you to do now is support that same design right here with some greenery. And we're going to create some depth because we're going to take that greenery from the back and now it'll be up towards the front. So now I'm going to put a pop of green here and a pop of green at the bottom. I think we'll go off a little bit to the right. Oh my gosh, we're using some of our floral design techniques in here. You may not even see them coming, but it's going to come together in a second. Now I'm going to move one more to the left over here. So we've got 1 piece of greenery at the top, 2 at the bottom. Got a nice look, really complementing the explosion and of the florals. And look at the depth we created. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. It's just so elegant, so wispy. All right, take our last 2 pieces. And I'm going to just work these opposite each other, and we're just going to come in right and left, completely opposite. You choose which side needs a little more support, and I think we're going to go this way. So I'm going to use one on the top on the left here, just kind of beefing up that zone. I love, that looks good. And then one down here on the bottom right, so it works opposite. Okay. So if you take your time and you don't just start shoving stuff in, and you really think about your placement and what we talked about today, I know you're going to have so much success when you create your own design. And when you're ready to create bigger and better pieces that are more layered, more depth, more dimension, you want to learn more foundations of floral design, I would love to teach you in our class. Come and join us at Kali's Design School. And in the meantime, you can grab this kit right now to get started and see how easy it is to create your own floral designs. All right, Bloomerinos, I'll see you next time. Go have fun with flowers. Bye, everybody.